Hello everyone, and now you are going to hear a short review of the movie Holly Slept Over. Noel and Audra are a couple who do not have children but dream of having them. Because of this, Noel shares the problem with his neighbor Pete. His friend suggests taking advantage of the moment because after having children, the couple will stop making love. Pete and Marnie have already been through this, but the husband still hasn't accepted it because his wife is as attractive as before. Audra is also troubled by the absence of children and confides in Marnie, who admits to losing a child when she was a student. The neighbor believes the problem is not with Audra, but with her husband and his ability to become a father. Pete decides to confess to his friend that he engaged in various activities with his sleeping wife to derive some pleasure. Noel finds this disgusting and advises his neighbor not to do so, or else he may have problems in his married life. In the evening, Noel and Audra engage in lovemaking in hopes of conceiving a child and discuss the neighbor's problems, realizing that their views are more conservative. The couple rarely makes love, so after having a child, they may forget about it. Meanwhile, Pete waits for his wife to fall asleep, and after admiring her beautiful figure, he continues to work. Audra tells her husband about her college friend Holly. They hadn't communicated for over 12 years, but recently, Holly found her on social media and wrote to meet up. Noel suggests inviting the girl over, but his wife is afraid and refuses. The next morning, Noel and Pete discuss family life problems again during their jog. Pete understands that due to the absence of children, his neighbor doesn't understand him. The man is forced to endure the lack of intimacy, constant quarrels, and dissatisfaction of his wife, suspecting that she is cheating on him. He advises Noel to cherish every moment because after having a child, their family won't be able to indulge in madness. Upon returning home, Noel suggests to his wife to relax somehow and go somewhere for the weekend, but she refuses because she invited Holly over. In the evening, Audra can't sleep and decides to confess to her husband that she had a relationship with her best friend. Noel is shocked but not angry. He is interested in how it happened, as she was always too shy with him. The next morning, Noel tells his neighbor about it. Pete suggests taking advantage of the opportunity because not everyone gets such a chance. Soon, Marnie finds out about it and calls Audra to find out more details about her college experience. A little later, the neighbors meet for a family dinner and again discuss Audra's turbulent youth. Pete tells Noel not to miss the chance, but Noel is afraid of ruining his marriage. In the morning, Audra is very nervous and takes a bath to prepare for her meeting with her old friend. Holly arrives earlier than expected, so she is greeted by Noel, who shows her the guest room. Admiring the beautiful girl, he tries to control his thoughts. Holly has been on the road all night, so she asks to be left alone to rest a bit. Audra decides to check if everything is okay with Holly. Seeing Holly, Audra returns to her husband and suggests doing something just on the couch. Noel is shocked by his wife's boldness, but is not brave enough to take this step because there are outsiders in the house, and he feels awkward. In the evening, Noel calls his neighbor and asks for advice. He doesn't hide his interest in the beautiful girl and is ready for a bold experiment but lacks experience and is afraid of failure. Audra wakes up her friend, and they apologize to each other for their college quarrel, which ended their communication. During dinner, Noel, noticeably nervous, tells Holly about what he knows about her relationship with his wife. The girl is not bothered because she likes what she was passionate about in her youth. Trying to combine all this, Holly engages in making fun cookies and offers the family treats. She also confesses that she has been proposed to several times but got tired of casual relationships. Holly gave up pleasure for a year but is now ready to search for a man with whom spending time will make sense. She is surprised to notice the absence of children in the family, but Audra talks about their unpreparedness for this. Alone in the kitchen, Noel subtly hints at spending time together, but Audra doesn't understand it. While his wife is washing dishes, Noel dances with the girl without complexes. Trying to be frank, he talks about the idea of spending time together. Holly agrees and is even ready to try to convince Audra that they will like it. When the wife interrupts the conversation, Noel starts to get nervous and lie about the topic of discussion. Holly openly confesses to Audra and says they could spend this night together. Disturbed, Audra goes to the bedroom to be alone. Noel tries to explain, but Audra doesn't want to listen because she is not ready to let a third person into their bed. When Audra comes to her senses, Holly asks Noel to be honest, because telling the truth is always easier than lying. She is confident that her former friend will understand everything and agree to the experiment, because she has always been cautious in making decisions, and this case is no exception. When Audrey returns to her husband and friend, Holly raises the topic of shared leisure for them again. She considers all the reasons and refusals boring because life is one, and there's no need to be afraid of pleasant experiments. To relax a little, Audrey eats a piece of cookie. Remembering happy moments from their college life, the trio heads to the pool. Holly decides to swim and invites her friends to join her, dismissing all fears and doubts. After a while, the trio eats cookies and discusses the failed experience of the couple. Noel loses his ability to speak, but the girls are ready to spend time together and aren't embarrassed by his presence. It seems like the best day in the man's life, but the romantic moment is interrupted by Marnie. She wakes up and sees her husband doing something right in front of her face. She is outraged by his audacity and considers divorce because she finds Pete's behavior disgusting. When Noel meets his neighbor, he supports him, but at the same time mentions that the family scandal happened at the wrong time. The neighbors return home, and Holly suggests continuing what they started. Audrey and Noel are disappointed by Marnie and Peter's divorce, but decide that they are just witnesses, and it doesn't concern their family life. The trio kisses again, then heads to the bedroom and takes their place on the bed. They spend the best night of their lives. After the joint relaxation, Audrey declares that it was all a big mistake. She admits that she was in love with Holly, and they stopped communicating because the friends started dating other girls and boys. Holly also confesses her feelings to Audrey and says that she did it only out of fear of serious relationships. Noel feels jealous and forbids Holly to approach his wife. After that, Holly goes to the guest room and the couple discusses what happened. Audrey admits that she was pregnant but lost the baby. In turn, Noel tells her that he went to the doctor and everything is fine with him. The couple can have children. It's just that the happy moment hasn't come yet. In the morning, the couple wakes up and sees the breakfast prepared for them by Holly. The girl thanks them for their hospitality and suggests repeating the experiment in 10 years. For now, she has prepared pancakes with a secret ingredient so that her friends don't get bored. Holly says goodbye and leaves. After some time, the couple awaits the birth of their child. Pete and Marnie, as before, visit them to spend the weekend together. Despite the scandal, Pete and Marnie saved their marriage. Seeking help from a psychologist, they drew conclusions and made compromises. Now Marnie fulfills her husband's wishes, and he, in turn, treats her with respect. This is the end of the movie. That's all for today. Subscribe and like if you want more videos like this.